Hi, I'm Miss Dara from the Rogers Public Library, and today we're doing Homeschool Explorers crafts. So the crafts for this week, you can pick up your packet at the library, and it'll have all of March's crafts in it and the first week in April. So, all right, so this is the first craft we're going to do. And so this is a Japanese fish because we're doing Japan. So it's a flying fish kite. So let's see how to make it. So in your packet, you need to pull out your fish. So there's 2 fish. And you also need to pull out this Ziploc bag that has a stick sticking out of it here. So what we're going to do is first, you want to color in your fish. So I just colored mine, whatever colors I wanted to make it that kind of match my stuff in this bag. So then open up your bag. Once you have that all colored, open up your bag and you have this stick with string on the end of it. Make sure that your duct tape is all pushed down really good because some of this was like coming up a little bit. So then also in here you have 2 sets of streamers. These that is really thick is a little bit longer, and then these are shorter. And then you have 2 eyes. Okay, so the shorter ones, you're going to take these and you're going to, I'm going to do them both at once here. You're going to take a pair of scissors and you're going to cut these into pieces. And they can be a little bit wider, a little bit narrower. It doesn't really matter. So just kind of even or close to even. Some of mine are a little bit wider, some of them a little bit narrower. It doesn't matter. So we're going to use these to make scales on our fish. So the next thing you're going to want to do is round off the corners on one edge of that so that they look kind of like that. And you're going to do that with all of these because there's so many. I'm going to do these together. Just as long as you have those kind of lined up. It doesn't matter if you do them 2 at a time. Okay, once you have a bunch of these cut, you can start gluing them on. And so you do not want to use a glue stick with crepe paper because it won't work. They'll just fall back off. So once you have them cut, you can use regular Elmer's glue or some other kind of glue, or I use tacky glue because it's just, I think it's easier. And I didn't cut quite all of them, but it's just however many you want to do. So then you're going to take it and get your glue going. And I'm just going to make a line and stick it on it. As you see, I didn't go like along with the scales that are already on here. I'm not trying to match it up. I'm just sticking some on. Okay, so there's that side. And then do the same thing on the other side. And be careful not to use too much glue because if you use a lot of glue, it's just going to come through, especially if you're just using regular glue, like school glue. It's just going to come through and then it's going to be a big mess. You don't want that. All right. So see, it didn't take even all of them that I cut. So there's my 2 sides. And so the next thing I'm going to want to do is I'm going to want to glue these together. And so make sure that your glue is dry enough here that it's not going to stick to the table. So if you have any sticky spots, you don't want to do that yet. You're going to want to let this dry a little bit because it will come through and then it will stick to your table. So you're just going to put some glue on that outside edge. Don't put a lot, and you only want it on the outside edges. So just a little line on either side, not too much. And then you're going to take this, and before you put this in here, you want to take something like, I'm going to use a Sharpie, and stick it in the middle so that I don't accidentally glue the middle of it, because I don't want to. And then you just stick those sides together. And if you notice, they don't quite line up. But that's okay. Doesn't have to be perfect. Okay, and to wipe off any excess glue. Okay, so what you're wanting to do is make sure that you have a hole in the middle here. And do the same in the back. You definitely want a hole in the middle so that it will have air going through it. So once this dries, you're going to take that stick and take each of your strings and put one through one side of this. Just poke it through the hole just on one side and tie it, and then do it on the other side also. And I'm not going to do that yet because mine is still really wet, but as you can see on this one, I just tied it loosely and knotted it. I actually think I triple knotted that, but as you can see, it left this middle open. So you do not want to put it all the way through both holes because that would tie it together, and you want that to be able to breathe through it. Then once you finish that, tying that on, you take the other end, take your big long pieces, and you're going to take your glue again, and you just start gluing these on here. So just do a line, and remember, it doesn't take a ton of glue, and stick that on. Do a line overlapping that one and stick on the middle one. And I'm just going back and forth, blue, green, blue, green. And one more line for another blue. And then I'm going to flip it over carefully so that I don't glue it to the table here, and do the same thing on the other side. And there's your streamers on the end. So there you go. So there is my fish. The only thing that we're missing now is those googly eyes. And you just take the googly eyes and glue them one on each side. Okay, so that is that craft. So let me show you the other craft. So out of your craft packet, you'll want to get your pieces of origami paper. So let me get all my scraps out of the way. So there should be 6 pieces of origami paper, 2 that are patterned, they're 3 patterned and 3 plains. And so we're going to take a patterned and a plain, and we're going to make a ninja star with it that'll look kind of like this. Okay, so you're going to fold it in half first, and then open it up and fold it to the middle on both sides so that it opens in the middle here. And then fold that back together and make sure your creases are creased really good. And then you're going to want to fold that in half. And I'm going to do that to the same thing to your other piece of paper. So fold it in half, fold both sides to the inside. Try to get them even and don't overlap that edge. Make sure it's all creased, then fold it in half. Okay, so here's where it gets a little trickier. You're going to fold one side of it, the top side here, you're going to fold over to that line. So that's the crease line there. You're going to fold it over to the crease line. Then the other side, the bottom part, you're going to fold the opposite direction to that crease line so that it looks like this. Then you're going to take it and you're going to fold. Let me see, I never remember which way. Okay, it goes like this. So from the outside of that, you're going to fold that end down so that it makes a little stick out piece here at the end. And you're going to do the same thing with the other one. And I always have to do it twice in order to figure out which way it's going, but there's only one way it actually goes. So it'll end up looking like this. Okay, and then you're going to do that same thing with the other one, but you want it to go the opposite direction. So since I folded the first one this way, I'm going to go the opposite way. And the top, I'm going to fold the opposite direction as I did. The bottom also fold the opposite direction as I did before. Then I'm going to fold those just like I did on the last one. Fold from the outside in. From the outside in. Okay, so we have opposites here. And then you're going to take these and you want them to all be going the same direction. So just cross them, but make sure they're going all the same direction. And then you're going to take this one here and you're going to fold it down into this seam right here. So I open up this one right here and tuck that in there. If I can get it to go in. Okay, then I'm going to do the flip it over and do the other side. Actually, I'm going to do this one here next. Fold that down and tuck it into that same thing. And then I'm going to take this one and fold it down in, if you can see right here, there's a little spot you can fold it into right there. And then for this last one, we're going to flip it over and it goes right in this one right there. And the last one, it's a little bit hard to get it to open up so that you can stick it in there. So you can take a pencil and kind of stick it in there and hold it open like that so that you can stick it up in there. And then just kind of even it all out, push it in more where it needs to be, pull it out a little bit where it doesn't, and there is your ninja star. So there you go. And you can do different colors, whatever color is in your packet, to do your ninja stars. All right, guys. So that's your crafts for today. Thank you. Bye-bye.